Thank you, Mr. President. We are debating some really heavy issues right now. Our state government's fiscal challenge, the future of the permanent fund, the future of our economy. All of these things are important, but at the heart of all of this are people, Alaskans, Mr. President. By my calculation, Mr. President, I believe at least 15 out of the 20 of us that occupy chairs on this floor were here when the 1980s turned from a recession into a depression. And through hard work and perseverance, we made it. Regardless, Mr. President, that wasn't a good time. It's not a time that I would wish to happen again. So, as we debate these issues of government take, permanent fund dividends, we're seeing layoffs. We are potentially debating layoffs of hardworking, committed state employees that clear our roads, keep our roads safe. But, Mr. President, in the private sector, folks are losing their jobs now. In fact, in February of this year, so 2 months ago, Mr. President, the unemployment claims were 1,209. 1,209. A year ago, February, the unemployment claims were 545 for the month of February. That was when the oil price drop was just beginning to manifest itself. So now we're up to 1,200, more than 1,200 unemployment claims in a single month. Companies are reducing their workforces by 17%, 20%, 25%. Mr. President, these are Alaskan people that are losing their jobs. Working class wages that pay mortgages, utility bills, buy groceries, gas, pay property taxes. All of these wages are being lost. Those layoffs are people's livelihoods. We heard from one company today in Senate Resources where the chief executive officer spoke with heartbreak in his voice, Mr. President, about the layoffs he will have to administer in his company, 25% next week. Mr. President, we have to be honest. There's going to be job losses in the private sector with this price downturn. That's just the fact. We're going to have less in construction because our capital budget is going to be constrained. That's a fact. Industries are constricting. We know that's happening. But, you know, at the end of the day, these are families, and we need to find a way going forward to soften this blow. I had a registrar in one of my schools in my district visit me last week. She's been the registrar there for many years. In the month of January, she had 5 families withdraw. She's never had 5 families withdraw before. That's a huge number. 4 of those families were oil industry jobs that had been lost, Mr. President. The decisions we make in this building, in this session, and even in the next week are going to ripple out to our friends and our families, our neighbors in Alaska. But this is about doing the right thing. We have to do what's right. It's going to be hard, and we're going to have the courage to do that. Mr. President, I think that as we go through this, we need to encourage ourselves as well as our fellow Alaskans to exercise discipline, patience, and keep a long-term vision, because we will get through this, just as we did in the 1980s. Thank you, Mr. President.